welcome back. It's another episode of Attention Span. I'm here joined by my lovely queen once again. Today's episode's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a discussion topic mixed with a little bit of a review. We're gonna be discussing vacations, as well as reviewing our vacation to Bali. And before you go any further, I want you guys to go back, watch our vlog for Bali. That is a 10 out of 10. Honestly, I'm still on cloud 9. We're both still... What was that?
I'm telling him to watch it.
Oh, I was like, who are you?
Watch it.
Who are you threatening?
Open a new tab, watch it, and then come back, watch this.
Yo, you're a bully, bro. So we went to Bali for just under 2 weeks, and it was probably the best 2 weeks of my life. First and foremost, this was the first vacation for either of us. I've never been on a vacation in my life before. And
it was mad spontaneous,
yeah, facts. Just to give a little bit of context or a little bit of a backstory to this, once me and Dominique started dating, I remember just like making little jokes here and there, like, oh, we gonna go on trips, we gonna do this, we gonna do that.
We were just talking, we were just laughing, like, I wasn't ready. You were supposed to go on your trip with your boys.
Oh, right.
And then you didn't end up going on that trip, and you were like, I deserve a trip.
I told you guys in a previous video, due to all of the unpredictable ramifications that go into house purchasing, I was unable to go on my vacation. Enter
Dominique. He was just like, I deserve a trip. And I was like, you do deserve a trip. Like, you've been working mad hard. You got everything sorted out with your house. Like, you need a getaway. And then he just said Bali.
She was telling me like, go ahead, plan another trip with your boys because you do deserve to have that. But I think everyone can attest to the fact that it is so hard to even plan an outing within the city with a group of friends. So
facts.
For me to really put all of my faith and effort into planning another trip with 8 of my friends, it was never going to happen. So I was like, you know what? Like, yo, why don't we just go on a trip? And jokes turned into facts. So huge shout out to Myrna, by the way, the impatient tourist. I'm gonna leave her information in the description below as well. She plans itineraries for people, so if you go to her with a destination, a range of dates that fit for you, and a budget, she'll figure out the best place for you to stay, the best flights that you can find. So I hit her up and she came back to us with something that honestly, it was so affordable compared to what we said. We're like, yo, we can actually like
do this,
stretch our budget even more, because our budget initially was 1,600. 1,500. And we saw what she was able to find with 15. We're like, yo, honestly, like,
let's go all out.
So we actually changed our budget to 1,700. And with that 1,700, she was able to find us a flight and places to stay for the 10 days while we were there in the range of dates that we had given her, because we also figured it would make sense to make it a birthday getaway for me as well, and a Valentine's Day getaway too. My birthday and Valentine's Day.
Birthday.
What is your problem? Why can't it ever be about us?
Because I need your birthday to have a standalone moment. His birthday is February 15th. Like, imagine getting overshadowed by Valentine's Day every year.
I'm used to it.
Not anymore.
Okay.
It was just crazy because we were right at $2,000 with the expenses we had when we were there.
People think that vacationing to a destination such as Bali is gonna run you somewhere like almost $3,000, when realistically speaking, it's a lot more affordable than you think. So the flight was just the most expensive part, which was $1,250 if I'm not mistaken. And that's round trip, and that includes us stopping over in a bunch of places, which honestly, we just kind of made it like another destination on the way.
That's the Amsterdam.
And it was perfect because we were there from literally like the start of the day to the end of the day.
It was like a prelude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like that little intro. In terms of review for the actual vacation itself,
we ain't even got started yet.
We haven't even gotten started. One thing that I would definitely recommend to people, when you are booking for your spots, make sure you solidify your booking in advance, because we ended up doing that for one place and not the other, and we decided to pay when we got there for the second location, and the price changes. So that was something that honestly,
something we learned for sure.
We
went in like rain season. So I'm assuming everything was probably slightly cheaper because we're not going in
their peak season.
Where all the tourists are going at that point in time. Even if like you are looking to travel to Bali during the rain season, like we kept checking the weather and it was just like thunder.
It said 7 days straight I just saw lightning bolts the entire
every
way.
day. I'm like, damn, Pikachu in this bitch. We were pleasantly surprised. Like, it only rained hard enough to ruin our plans only one day.
Another thing that I think goes either way is planning on what you're gonna do on a day-to-day basis. We wanted to have a balance of some structure as well as some spontaneity. We ended up going with mostly spontaneity.
We were super spontaneous.
But we had a list of things, we didn't assign them to specific days, which I think helped us a lot.
Yeah.
So along this process, we had a lot of people in our ears respectively telling us like what to watch out for with our first vacation because they had gone on one before, and everyone kind of having their own reservations. And honestly, like, I can wholeheartedly say that I personally had no problems with you on the trip. Everyone's like, oh, like when you vacation with somebody for the first time, you see a whole different side of them. And I was just like,
yeah, that shook me before we went at first. I was like, I'm kind of nervous.
Do you really buy into that though? Like, if you really know somebody, you really vibe with somebody, like just because we're going another location, I shouldn't expect another side of you. And I feel like if that's the case and that's what's happening, then it's not a matter of you vacationing and that's what brought out the person's true colors. It's the fact that you just never saw that side of that person yet. Like,
I honestly think like part of me was a little bit nervous.
Tell me more. Yeah, because I never heard this yet.
Okay, fundamentally, I was okay because I think our personalities, like, we just go together really well. Stop making that skeptical ass face.
I just want to hear you get to the point.
I was nervous because I was like, people were saying like, you're gonna see a side of this person you've never seen before. So that was kind of like, is that really gonna happen? So there was that thought in my head.
But I feel like, okay, that wouldn't even be something that's dependent on us going on a vacation or not. Like, I think that's just how people mesh in general in their relationships. For anybody watching this who's in a relationship or who's going to be in a relationship going forward, like, go on that vacation with somebody, because I think that it actually brought us closer.
Yeah, it definitely did. I think a lot of people's like skepticism about vacations comes from like, okay, we're about to spend like 12 days together and like
not only even 12. We're gonna spend 7 days and $1,200 together.
Yeah.
Bro. I don't think people really realize too is like, they're saying, okay, you're gonna be with each other 7 days straight, you're spending this amount of money on each other. It's a risk, when realistically speaking, like, we've already spent in our own city 10-12 days straight together. Like, we've already been like, okay, like, I see you today, I might drop you home, you go sleep, I come back the next day, I pick you up. Like, we're already spending this amount of time together on a consecutive basis, regardless of where we're going, you know what I mean? So we're just changing our location now. So we've already done this essentially.
Yeah, I think we just made it more exciting.
For sure, we changed our setting. We're like, okay, Bali. Otherwise, we would have done that here. We've spent 10-12 days straight together before. We've spent whatever amount of money separately. Shit, I'd rather spend it with you, you know what I mean? Because the experience and all the memories that we created was mad priceless. So it's just like,
so priceless.
So honestly, like, my advice to anybody watching this who might be on the fence about vacations, like, just do it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like, and what I was also looking at too, like what I was telling people, my #1 rebuttal to people telling me to be careful with going on this vacation too soon in a relationship, I was just like, okay, if I don't go on this vacation with her, I'm only gonna prolong whatever disasters you say that this vacation is gonna bring forth
a lie
to the future.
Make it quick.
I'd rather know.
Show me what I'm working with.
What?
Wait, what?
It made me sound like you want me to twerk.
You made it clap for me 1 and 2 times.
To be completely honest and fair, like, I feel like you should take that plunge. I'm not saying to take that plunge right away, but when you feel like you're at a suitable point in your relationship, like, take that plunge, because if it's going to be a disaster, wouldn't you rather get the disaster earlier rather than later? I'd rather know that, okay, you know what, we're gonna fight, this is gonna be something where we crash and burn, technically, so to speak. I'd rather get it over with earlier rather than I waste 2 more years until this comes up and I realize, okay,
and then realize we can't go nowhere together.
Yeah, like, what? Like, I'd rather get that out of the way early.
And I think honestly, like, if you are considering a vacation and like not really sure, I feel like the best thing is just to be realistic. Like, think about yourself and who you are as a person. Think about your partner and like take the chance. Like, if you see yourself working together in the future on a day-to-day basis anyways. Like you said, it's just a change of location.
Yeah,
like
nothing should really change fundamentally. I feel like if a vacation is something it's something that you're hesitant about, then you probably have bigger issues at hand to worry about anyways. Because if we can't go somewhere together, then maybe we gotta figure out exactly why it is that I'm nervous or hesitant to do so. Because that means in the back of your mind, you're already having doubts about the situation that you're in anyways, you know what I mean? So if you have complete faith and complete commitment to your relationship, then it shouldn't even be a problem to be like, you know what, yeah, like I spent $1,200 on less, so put that money towards something that you're gonna value for the rest of your life. I know going to Bali, I'm already like, listen, that was
great.
That was life-changing. Yeah. I'm ready to do like, where we going next? Honestly, I think all in all, in conclusion,
go.
Honestly, the only thing that really should be a problem at any point is figuring out where y'all trying to go. Just do it, bro. Like, you're not gonna look back in 2-3 years and be like, you know what, I really wish I didn't spend that $1,200 to $1,300.
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean? Whether it worked out with that person or not. And
if it didn't work out, got some fire Instagram posts.
Like, I feel like life is too short to be spending that kind of money on materialistic stuff. Like, while I was out there, I was just like, bro, like I really spent money on like Gucci shoes or...
You don't regret that?
I don't, but like, don't. You know, that's not the point.
This guy's acting like he would return all his shoes. Are you dumb?
Yeah, we're a little off topic. All right. So all in all, just to top this off, Bali is a 10 out of 10. Vacations, 10 out of 10. Dominique, 10 out of 10. I don't really want to end up in the
Royston, 12.
Who's Fly TV, 12 out of 10 review. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this video, make sure you go on a vacation, and stay tuned.